What's going on, people? Welcome back to Curtis Shaw TV, back with another live stream today. We will be looking back over Arsenal's 2-0 victory against Leeds United last night. We're through to the quarterfinals of the Carabao Cup. Obviously, a lot of the other big sides, they play tonight, so we will find out. Saturday morning, 10:30 is the Carabao Cup draw. It's live on Soccer AM. We will find out who we're getting. And listen, let's hope we get a good draw, because I do think this is a trophy that we need to be aiming to win, people. And listen, it was good to win the game. It wasn't a classic, that is for sure. But it was important to go through. Cup football is all about getting through, nothing more, nothing less. Apologies, people, for the change in time. I like to create a bit of a schedule. I usually go on about 2 p.m. every day, but today couldn't be helped. Better late than never, people. So 6:15 today. Quick hour and 15. Get out of here. Go and watch Manchester City against West Ham. So big up to every one of you for tuning in. No therapy needed again, people. Listen, as you can see, I want to make it clear. I'm going to make something clear. I'm about to put a case forward for the man in the background. Saeed. Listen, I see Saeed turning up with balaclavas on his face on the Big Six show and, all of this. I'm going to put a case forward today, people. So I want everyone to listen and pay attention. I hope you do remember this. Clip this as well. I'm about to speak on behalf of the entire football community of fans outside of Manchester United. All I'm reading at the moment is Antonio Conte this, Zinedine Zidane that. People, let's not forget, this is the man of the people. This is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, people, the famous Champions League last-minute goal-scoring striker. Man United fans, appreciate what you have. He's a happy-go-lucky guy. You weren't happy when you had Jose. It was too miserable. It was too defensive. On behalf of the entire footballing community, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, I want you to stay at the football club. I think you're an elite manager. I love what you're doing over there at Manchester United. And on behalf of everyone in the Curtis Shaw TV community, stay at the wheel. Keep up the great work. I'm in full support of this manager. I believe he's the man to take Manchester United where they need to go. He's making Ronaldo look like Benteke. He's making Sancho look like Nathan Redmond. And he's making Harry Maguire look like the fridge in your kitchen. And that, to me, is spot on. That works entirely for me. Forget Arteta. Forget all these other managers. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, I'm a huge fan of you. I think what you're doing is incredible. I'm in full support. Not many people earn the green screen on this channel, and you deserve it, my friend. Just for that smile alone. I think that is the press conference when they just lost 5-0 to Liverpool. Now, if you can be the manager of a football club and lose 5-0 to one of your biggest rivals, and you can come out with a smile like that on your face, then for me, you are incredible, mate. Ollie, I want you to stay. Ollie at the wheel, and you're staying on this green screen for the entire show, because in my eyes, you are a legend. I love everything you're doing at Man United. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, stay at the wheel. 3 more years. Let's get behind him, people. If you're Liverpool, if you're Man City, if you're Arsenal, if you're Tottenham, whoever you are, this manager deserves our support. And as far as I'm concerned, he's getting all my support, because I think he's amazing. I just think he's a great manager. And I want him to stay at the club. They give him a 3-year deal in the summer. Let him see out that deal. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, they're calling him at the moment, people, but not me. Not me, people. I think he's an elite manager. I put him up there with the likes of Klopp and Pep. The job he's doing, superb, people. So, yeah, that is my introduction. Ollie, forget Conte, forget Zidane. Let's stick with this guy. Keep him in the job. Ollie at the wheel, people. We all love him at the moment. So, yeah, Saeed, that's for you, my friend. Man's coming on streams with balaclavas like he's about to rob a bank in the 80s. You know what I mean? Just enjoy it. Embrace him. Look at the smile. How can you hate him? You lose 5-0, you come in a press conference and smile like that. Legend in my eyes, people. Ollie at the wheel. Right, people, there we go. There's the introduction. I thought I had to do that. I had this picture lined up for Monday, but I didn't actually do a stream. So I thought, you know what? Let's get it in today. Arsenal have won. We have to make the most of it, people. So, yeah, there you go. Ollie at the wheel, people. Right, let's move on. Arsenal against Leeds United. Again, it was another one of them games that you'll put in that box of, you know what? I am never going to watch the highlights of that game because it was another snore fest. As I said before, people, anybody struggling with sleep, watch the first 45 minutes. You will be snoozing like a baby. That first half was dreadful. Absolutely dreadful. It was a snore fest. We looked disjointed. A lot of players that will probably not be at the club next season were playing, and you could see it. It wasn't connecting. Some of our big boys were not really at it either. But we won the game. We got through. Now we're going to do our little Jamie Carragher / Gary Neville little breakdown. This isn't going to take long because let's be honest, there weren't too many highlights in this game. The thing with Arsenal at the moment, what's really interesting is we seem to have little spells in games where it's like we have to win the game in that 15 or 20-minute period. And if we don't, we'll drop points. And that's why I still think, even though Arsenal are winning games at the moment, I think we've won 6 of our last 8 in all competition. I still think we take a risk in that where we have 20 minutes, 25 minutes of a game where it's like you've got to win the game in that time. Outside of that time, we don't really do anything. Now, the better teams, they dominate games for longer periods that gives them a longer opportunity to win the game. Like Broad saying, exit trials. Who remembers Football CV back in the day? Used to go on the website, pay about £100, go to a trial. They'd gas it up that, oh, they've got scouts there from all the clubs in the country. You know, there's probably some old scout there who's got no, you know, he can't get you in anywhere. And they make about 10 grand on the day. It was basically that. It's which players are we going to sell the quickest? So, yeah. But listen, we're going to quickly get into the game. There's not a lot. This isn't going to last long, people. Now, I'm going to go. Do you know what? I'm going to take myself off the screen and we go full screen so you can see it properly. Now, I've even slowed it down. We're getting some better. We're moving. We're moving, people. So we're going to slow this down. This is the first goal. Ball was whipped in, flicked on. Pepe with the header across. Callum Chambers heads it. Back of the net. Yard over the line. Do you know what? I'm even going to slow that down a little bit more. I even think that's too quick. Let's take it to 0.25. There we go, people. We'll go again. Emile Smith-Rowe with the corner, which is interesting because Pepe usually takes the corners when he plays, but Pepe wasn't taking the corners yesterday, which I kind of get. Curtis, bring Ollie back. Ollie will be back. Don't worry. Don't worry. Pre-assist from Pepe. I mean, listen, he actually got the assist, but like I said, ball whipped in. It was flicked on by Eddie Nketiah. Comes to Pepe. Was Pepe trying to shoot? I don't know. Heads it back across goal. Callum Chambers, good header. I don't know what is the goalkeeper doing there? He's standing behind the goal line. If he's a yard further forward, he saves that. I don't understand. But listen, I don't care anyway. Yeah, I need a little work on the accent. My Scouse accent ain't that good, you know. Ball was crossed in, right-hand side, Emile Smith-Rowe headed back by Pepe and smashed into the net by Callum Chambers. It's not prime Toxtiff, is it? I'm not quite that Scouse Carragher. Carragher spits at people, though, in the car. So, it's probably a good thing, to be honest. But, hey, these goals are as scrappy as it gets, people. These are like school playground goals when there's about 50 kids on the playground playing football. Scrappy as anything. Arteta ball at its finest, people. Goals that you're not going to remember. Crazy that Callum Chambers was only on the pitch for 10 seconds when he scored this goal. And, hey, I thought that was decent Scouse, to be fair. I thought that was prime Scouse, people, but people saying, nah, that weren't Scouse, people, so we'll leave that. I thought that weren't a bad impression. That's not bad, to be fair. I thought it was all right. I'll take that. I'll get away with that if I was in Liverpool. I think they'll accept that. Let's move on to the next one, people. Where are we at? Minute and 17. Here's the next one. Eddie, you lucky boy, my friend. You lucky boy. This was very close to being the most trolled goal in the history of Arsenal. If he would have missed this, the criticism and stick I would have been giving this guy today would have been unbelievable. But I give it him. He got the goal. That's all that matters. That's all that matters. He does well. He presses the defender. Defender's header is short. Great first touch over the goalkeeper's head. Great second touch. And then he tries his best to miss. He even slips over and puts it in the back of the net. You lucky boy, my friend. It's a good job. This guy renewed his contract. iPhone 13 settings, Samsung S21. Man had me screaming on stream like a little girl, mate. I was like, I couldn't believe it. I thought he'd missed from 3 yards out. Open goal. If he'd have missed that, boy, it would have been the end of him today. But listen, he worked hard. He did what he needed to do, and he got the goal. Shaquille said, Curtis, you're the most versatile person I watch. Man's got every accent. Hey, I don't know about every accent, but I'll have a go, people. Zach said, Eddie Nketiah, I swear everyone in the ground around me thought he missed. The technique that he hit the ball with was wild. Wild, I'm telling you. Scarrett, said, good stream time. See, waking up to my guy after 5 busy nights, bro. Thank you. Big up to you, bro. Daniel said, evening, Curtis. We just take the win or move on. The performance was nothing to write home about. Big up to you with the super chat, bro. And like you said, I think you made the right decision, Daniel, not going to that game, you know, traveling 3-4 hours to get there. It was nothing worth writing home about. He really almost missed. It was like, remember back in the day, people, when you was on pay as you go and, you know, you'd be speaking to someone and you hear 1 minute remaining. You was like, no, I need at least 5 more minutes. You had to wrap that conversation up quickly. Eddie heard 1 minute remaining, but he just about got away with it, to be fair. But hey, Julian said this goal was Bergkamp-esque. I mean, listen, I'm convinced that Julian is a troll at this stage. I'm convinced. He's come in to troll, nothing else. He watched Mesut v Ludogorets, but it didn't work. Yeah, do you know what? It was a little bit Mesut Ludogorets, wasn't it? A little flick over the goalkeeper. It wasn't quite the same flamboyancy of finish as Mesut against Ludogorets. Julian is a social experiment. He came out of nowhere and he's just wild, man. I'm convinced he's a troll. George says, Curtis, do you think Leeds will get relegated? I think they will stay up, but I think they're in trouble. I really do. They don't seem to have goals in their side, and they look a little bit disjointed at the moment. Bielsa, that crazy attacking football doesn't always work, you know, does not always work. Just to finally look at this Eddie finish from a different angle. I'm going to slow this one right down. This is just crazy. The technique is unbelievable. You see him here, people. Does really well. Eye on the ball. Flicks it over the keeper. Brilliant. Looks at the ball. Little touch inside with his left foot. And this finish here, look at the way he hits this ball. Bruh. What is that? I swear he finishes that with his toe. It's like his foot goes underneath the ball and he like spins it into the corner. Like, I don't know. Is this a new finish? Remember when Mesut Ozil used to have that like chip where he hit the ball into the ground to make it go over the goalkeeper? I think Eddie Nketiah has made something up here that we've never seen in football. It's like spinning the ball. It's like he spun the ball underneath with his toe. Maybe it's a new skill. Forget Cruyff turns, you know, forget the Henry finish. This is the new Eddie Nketiah finish. Sponsored by Apple. iPhone 13 settings, people. I've never seen a finish like that. Julian compared it to Dennis Bergkamp. I'm not quite sure I would compare it to Dennis Bergkamp. I have to say that. But you never know. Maybe he's invented a new skill that we've never seen, and I have to put respect on his name. The Eddie shinning, I'm telling you, straight off the shin, little spin on it, and into the bottom corner. Eddie, man. But listen, he got his goal. He worked hard. Fair play to him. And Arsenal won the game 2-0. The Nketiah finish, man. You know what I mean? Just if he would have missed that, this would have been a very different stream today. But I do have to give him credit because he was very hardworking. He was industrious. He never stopped running. And we're going to discuss Eddie in the player ratings because there was a lot of things said about Eddie last night. I've seen people saying, you know, out of contract and maybe he should be given a new deal. What do we do with him moving forward? I wouldn't get too carried away by that performance last night. He's a good player in these sort of cup competitions. That certainly doesn't justify to me how good you are as a footballer, really. Buenos Gunnar, new shot. Ozil has that trademark kick. This is Eddie's. Yeah, I don't know what this one is. Giroud Scorpion goal. Marley said, none of these are good enough to warm the bench. Sell these frauds to fund the first team and promote the youth. I mean, we say promote the youth, but Balogun didn't get game time yesterday. Just thought I'd share this with you quickly. Promote the club. Anybody is interested? I'm just passing on the message, people. 20% off everything. I woke up this morning. I had 2 emails from Arsenal. I thought, what's going off here? New kit, new training kit. I thought it'd be a quarter-final training kit. 20% off everything on Arsenal's website. 30% off if you're a member, people. So, listen. I'm not doing Kroenke's work. I'm just letting you know. Anybody wants any training kit, anyone wants any Christmas presents or anything, might be a good time to get it. I got 2 emails. It was like the first one weren't enough. They backed it up half an hour later with a reminder. I was like, what's going off here? I managed to stay out of the shop. I'm nowhere near excited enough to be buying anything out of that Arsenal shop right now. I can't lie. And last night's performance didn't inspire me either. You know what I mean? Don't shoot the messenger, people. I'm just letting you know. In case you want to get some stuff, there's a little discount there right now. But hey, let's move on. Player rating settings. There's a few players we're going to be talking about here. Some for good reasons and some for not so good reasons. Tom said Barcelona losing to Vallecano. I don't think Ronald Koeman's got much time left there, has he? Martin said, we've not lost a game in 2 months. I mean, listen, you have to put that into context. And listen, I don't want to bring negativity to the situation because I know some people are very, very happy. And I'm happy we haven't lost a game in 2 months. But 8 games undefeated. 2 of them we drew. We drew to Brighton, drew to Palace. I think that's points dropped. And 2 of them were League Cup games. 1 against Wimbledon, 1 against Leeds. So it's 4 wins in the league, and we are still only mid-table. So whilst I say I believe we are building the foundations, the house is nowhere near built yet. So positive, yes. Celebration, no. That's where I would put it. Do you know what I'm saying? We've got bigger and harder games after the international break as well. Let's get into the team. Listen, it was a fringe team. I thought we made 9 changes yesterday. I thought at the time that he'd made too many changes, but we got away with it, and I'm cool with that. If you get away with it, which we did. So we're into the quarterfinal. There were a few positive performances last night. For me, I think Bernd Leno was good yesterday. I think Holding did pretty well. I thought Ainsley Maitland-Niles did well. Ben White was decent. And Eddie Nketiah was industrious without being spectacular, but he worked hard and got his goal. Oz, for me, it looked like 4-2-3-1 because every time Martinelli got the ball, he was hugging the touchline as if he was playing left wing. I genuinely don't think we were playing 4-4-2 yesterday. However, people, there were some disappointing performances yesterday. We'll discuss them a little bit more in depth. I think Martinelli and Pepe struggled. Thought Elneny was really poor. Cedric was up and down. Some of his deliveries weren't great. And as I said, this at the moment would be considered pretty much a reserve or a backup team at the moment with 1 or 2 players. Marvu said this unbeaten hype. Emery was unbeaten for 20 plus games. Exactly. And we still didn't make top 4. Now, I'm not expecting Arsenal to make top 4, but what I'm saying is we have to put it into context. 8 games unbeaten is not enough when you've lost your first 3. We're playing catch-up. Good start, but a long way to go. How player ratings goes, people. Give me your numbers for each player. Throw it in the chat. We'll discuss it, and we'll go with what we think. I never plan these player ratings prior to coming on because sometimes I actually forget certain things. So, I'm reminded by you in the chat. But I thought Leno was good yesterday. We'll start with Leno. Clean sheet. Made a good save at his near post. Kicking, not quite as good as Ramsdale, but I thought he was solid. You know, a lot of people have criticised him. I think it's important to remember that Bernd Leno is still a good goalkeeper. Think about the days of Fabianski or, you know, Almunia and, you know, goalkeepers like that. Peter Cech at the back end of his career was a bit of an old man, in my opinion. So I still think Leno is a good goalkeeper. You know, I don't think many teams in the top half of the Premier League have got two better goalkeepers than what we've got. Most teams have got a really good goalkeeper with a keeper that's not very good. We've got two pretty good goalkeepers. I thought Leno was solid. I'll probably give him a 7 out of 10, people. Solid without being spectacular. Arsenal gave him man of the match yesterday. I don't think Leeds really asked enough questions to have made him man of the match, but I thought he was solid without being spectacular. Good save at his near post. I've always said he's a very good shot stopper. The problem with Leno has always been, you know, his commanding of the penalty area when he comes for crosses and he's kicking. Whereas Ole Gunnar said he's very good between the sticks. He's just slightly above average when it comes to everything else. And I think that's the problem. I think in the Premier League, because it's so physical as well, you've got to be good at a lot of other things. You've got to be commanding. You've got to be able to come and take crosses. Your kicking has to be good if you're in a team that wants to play out from the back. I think those are the things that he lacks. But I think it's important not to write him off. He is still a good goalkeeper. Marvel actually thinks Leno is better than Ramsdale. I mean, I think at the moment, most people would say Ramsdale, but he's still got time at the club. You never know what's going to happen. It only takes injury or a change of form and he comes back into the team. We're definitely overpowered with a goalkeeper, says Bugs, and underpowered in the middle of the pitch. Let's go to Cedric at right back. I thought he was average yesterday. I don't think anybody was awful in the defense. I don't look at any defender and think, you know, he was getting ripped apart. I've got to give him a really low rating. I just think some of his crosses, he put a corner in that went out of play. And I think one of Cedric's qualities is that he usually has a decent delivery. And I think yesterday's delivery wasn't great. He got booked as well with a cynical tackle. He pulled the guy back. And I don't think Cedric did himself any favors. A lot of you are going with a 6. I'm actually going to give Cedric a 5 because I expected more from him going forward, which is something that I felt he had over Tomiyasu. And his yellow card was cynical, and he didn't need to do it either. So I'll give him a 5. I think, you know, he's another player that for me will end up at the club until the end of his contract. I still don't understand how he got a 4-year deal when Southampton were willing to let the contract run down. It's Raulsonelli, it's brown envelopes, and for me, a 5 out of 10. I don't think he put any kind of pressure on Tomiyasu with that performance, and that is the whole point of these games. So yeah, we won the game, positive, but I thought he was average, bang average yesterday. And yeah, I think he's on 80 grand a week, which is, you know, ridiculous. But 5 out of 10. I don't think Tomiyasu's got anything to worry about. And as you said, Zach, it's another Kia Jarapchin client as well. Biswadeep, yeah, I will be doing the El Sakiko watch along on Saturday evening, Tottenham against Man United. And, you know, let's hope this man behind me keeps himself in the job for another month or you know, forget a month, actually, another few years. Kolasinac at left back, solid without being spectacular. Did all right against Dan James. I thought Dan James might trouble him. Thought he kept him quiet. Got forward a couple of times. We know he's not good enough to be at the football club. I think the club will look to move him on in January. We've got Nuno Tavares, who looked good the other day. We've got Kieran Tierney. I'll give Kolasinac a bit of credit. I thought he did okay. I'll give him a 6. I thought he was better than Cedric, to be honest, and he was up against a better winger in terms of Dan James, who is lively, did a solid job, but he's not good enough to be at the football club. And I think we need to move him on in January. But again, he's on 120 grand a week. He will probably be at the club until the end of the season when his contract runs out. 5 for Ozil's bodyguard, said Andrew. Let's go to the centre-backs. Rob Holding, you know what? People know I'm not a big fan of Rob Holding. But, you know, he restored himself a little bit last night with that performance, just like his hairline, to be honest. It's come back from nowhere. And but listen, I'm not going to get carried away with the performance, but I thought he was decent. I'll give him a 7 for yesterday, Rob Holding. I thought he was good, commanding. And you know what? He was better on the ball yesterday than one of the midfielders that we are about to talk about in a few minutes' time. The amount of times Rob Holding got forward and actually picked out a pass, I was like, you're playing better than a certain midfielder that we're going to speak about soon. So I'll give Rob Holding a 7. I thought he was decent. And, like I said, the hairline's been restored, and he restored a bit of pride with that performance yesterday. He definitely had a good trip to Turkey in the summer. They definitely got some hair back for him. So, yeah, big up to Rob Holding, 7 out of 10, but still not a player that I rate particularly highly, but he was good. Ben White had a good game again. I was surprised that he played. Pablo Mari was out with illness. I think Mari would have probably started this game. Or Pablo Mari, isn't it? Not Marie. Mari would have started this game, but he was out with illness. Ben White came off with an injury. I haven't read the press conference yet. I heard that it isn't anything too serious. So I'll give Ben White a 7 as well. Thought he was solid. I don't think they had much to play against yesterday. Rodrigo was pretty lightweight. They didn't really get the ball to him. Apologies, Benjamin Billie Jean White, people. I'll give him a 7. I thought he was solid again. Another clean sheet. He's one of these players that he doesn't wow you as a centre-back. You don't look at him and think, what a defender he is. He's so physical. He's so commanding. But I think he just quietly handles his business, and I think he's improving at Arsenal. So we have to give him credit as well. If you can criticise, you've got to praise. And I think he's quietly handling his business, building up a partnership with Gabriel. I'll give him a 7. Not the most imposing, but I think he's quietly improving. People. Mohamed El Sideways, El Messi, they used to call him, Elneny. On this performance, I just don't know. I don't know what to say, people. I don't want to be overly critical of anybody because we won the game 2-0. But he is awful, in my opinion. How this guy has been at Arsenal Football Club for so long, I will never understand. At Arsenal, if you are a nice guy and you work hard and you're a bit of what you would call a teacher's pet. Yeah, we all had them people when we was at school or when you played in a football team. They pick up the cones after training and help out the coach and things like that. Yeah, Stricto's guy. Stricto apparently did an interview saying Elneny's underrated. And I'm like, I think the less said about that, the better. I am being serious when I say, and I'm being honest about this, if Elneny played in the Championship, right, I don't think he would stand out. Honestly. I don't think Elneny would stand out in the Championship. I really don't. Bang average. There was a time the ball came to him, it bounced off his knee and went straight to their player. This guy, do you know what? Elneny gives me inspiration. Anybody out there who is a young footballer, who has dreams of making it at a good level, look at Mohamed Elneny and think to yourself, Mohamed Elneny plays for Arsenal. He's an international footballer. So you can make it. If he can make it, you've got a chance. Now, I'm looking here. Elneny, I want to see how much money he earns a week because I still can't believe what is going on with this guy and how he plays for Arsenal. He earns 55 grand a week, Mohamed Elneny. 55 grand a week. I'll take 1 week of that wages. This guy earns 55 grand a week, people. Wow. Elneny for me was a shambles yesterday. I'm giving him a 3 out of 10. I don't think he offered anything. He didn't offer anything. He ran around. He lost the ball. And like I said, Rob Holding was passing the ball better than him. AFTV gave Elneny high ratings. Most of them said he should start. Oh, my God. I don't know. Was that Julian trolling? I don't know. I don't know what game people saw. I thought he was dreadful yesterday. People saying 60k. Yeah, I'm just checking a website. Between 50, 60k, this guy is getting. He should inspire you to play football. Yeah, people saying 60k. And the question I will be asking, Torreira's out on loan. Guendouzi's out on loan, probably going to leave. They're both head and shoulders above Mohamed Elneny as footballers. Head and shoulders above him. This guy, mate, for me, I'm not going to keep talking about him because I don't want to appear like I'm overly singling this guy out. This guy is not good enough. Not good enough to play for Arsenal. Honestly, you're calling him Mo Danielson. I actually think Danielson was better than him, and I was not a fan of Danielson at all. Well, apparently he got high ratings on AFTV. I don't know. Maybe I didn't watch the game properly. Every time I looked up, he gave the ball away. The ball bounced off him a few times. Shahira said, even in Egypt, Elneny divides opinion. Poor. 3 out of 10 for me. Worst player on the pitch yesterday. Let's go to Ainsley Maitland-Niles, who I actually thought that Ainsley had a very good game yesterday, considering he doesn't play centre midfield a lot of the time for Arsenal. He constantly said he wants to play in midfield. I thought he had a very good game. He kept the ball well, played a few nice passes, hardly gave the ball away, was energetic. I seen people calling him Ainsley Wijnaldum on Twitter yesterday. It was just that energetic performance. Wasn't spectacular, but in a system and a team that was very dysfunctional, I thought he showed some quality, and I big him up for that. And Buenos Aires Gunnar said, exactly, we've lost value on Torreira and Guendouzi by these loan moves by keeping Elneny. Makes no sense. I actually think, looking at the rest of the team, I mean, Arsenal gave man of the match to Leno. Sky Sports gave man of the match to Eddie Nketiah. I would probably be close to giving Ainsley man of the match, to be honest. He was solid without being spectacular, but I've played centre midfield before. And when the guy next to you is all over the place, as Elneny was, sometimes you can get pulled into that. And I thought Ainsley held himself well yesterday. I'm going to give him some credit, right? I'm going to give him 8 out of 10, people. I'm going to give him 8 out of 10. Big up my boy Fran in here. Hope you're well, my bro. Make sure you go and subscribe to him. I caught the end of your show earlier, bro, as I was driving back. So big up to you. And yeah, I'm going to give Ainsley 8 out of 10, people, because for me, I thought he was solid. Some of you giving him a 6, some of you giving him 7, some of you giving him an 8. I'm going to give him man of the match. I am. Bear in mind as well that Leeds had Phillips in centre mid yesterday, who I think is a very good midfielder. You know, this guy I think he played every game for England in the Euros and getting to the final. So, and, you know, I thought he did well. He did himself a favour yesterday. Give himself an opportunity to be in the manager's thoughts. Bear in mind, Elneny and Partey go to the African Nations Cup. Xhaka's out injured. He put himself, in my opinion, ahead of Elneny. That's for certain. So Ainsley, 8 out of 10 for me, man of the match. Let's go into the front line. These 3 players behind the striker, not one of these is about to get any particularly high rating from me. I've got to be totally honest. But yeah, isn't it amazing how people see the game different? And this is the beauty of football, people. You've got to hear, look, Don Juan said Ainsley was dog. He thought he was awful. Omar saying Ainsley man of the match. This is the beauty of football. We can watch the game and see different things. You look at Ainsley yesterday, he was energetic. He won tackles. He hardly gave the ball away. He linked up with the strikers a little bit and the attackers. And I thought he was solid. And like I said, when the guy next to you is dreadful, it's easy for you to fall in that trap. And as I said, you're playing against Kelvin Phillips, who to me is a very good centre midfielder. So yeah, I think Ainsley man of the match. Listen, I'm going to go easy on Martinelli. Let's start with Martinelli. Let's start with Gabriel Martinelli. Sometimes, see, this is where football gets a little bit tricky, people. You have to look at the context of a performance sometimes, the reasoning for it. Now, it's hard when you play for a football team where you believe that the manager doesn't have faith in you. And sometimes when they throw you in, you're so eager to prove yourself that you actually put in a bad performance because you're trying so much. And that's kind of how I would explain Martinelli's performance yesterday. Now, the reason I think people are saying go easy on Martinelli is because, number one, he's 20 years of age. Number two, he's had a serious knee injury. And number three, he's playing for a manager that doesn't play him on a regular basis. Now, those things are always going to affect your performance. However, this is big boy football. If you're 20 or you're 30, you're in the same game. This is the man's game. The manager, a lot of managers will look at you at 20 and say, I don't care if you're 20, I want a performance. I want to see what all the hype's about. The problem with Martinelli for me is, number one, is he a left winger or a striker? He likes to press hard, but he played left wing yesterday, and I kind of feel like I would have liked to have seen him play up front in a 2 and work the centre-backs. Now, I've said many times, and I stick to this. If Martinelli leaves Arsenal and goes to the right club, I think he will be a success at another club. I think Martinelli would be a success at Liverpool. I think he'd be a success at Dortmund, a team like that presses from the front, that uses energy, that uses the qualities he's got. We don't do that. Fran said, I actually think Martinelli's mindset has put him back years and he needs to man up. That's harsh, Fran. But I kind of hear you at the same time. Maybe he's a bit within himself. But the one thing I would back him for, I'm just thinking back to the performance. The thing that I got respect for Martinelli, I don't think he hides. I don't think he's on the pitch going, I don't want the ball and I'm afraid in case, I do something wrong. He wanted the ball yesterday. He ran his socks off. If you look back at that game, he worked his socks off. I'm going to give him a 5 out of 10. I'm going to give him a 5. Maybe I'm being a bit kind on him here. It's also, again, not easy to come into the team when you're playing against or playing around players that are a bit disjointed and you maybe not getting the quite service that you need. Some people may say, oh, well, you're going easier on him than maybe you're going to go on Nicolas Pepe. But I think the circumstances are very different. Big up to Wilson, who said it's my birthday today. Happy birthday to you, bro. You've been supporting the channel for a long time. So big up. Hope you have a great day, bro. Andrew said a 5's harsh. I don't think it is. Was he average yesterday, which I would class as a 6? I don't think he was. I don't think he did much yesterday in terms of productivity. He worked his socks off. I never question his work rate. A couple of times he got past the defender. I almost think he tried too hard. And I think we've got a problem on our hands with Martinelli. And I think a lot of that is down to the manager. I genuinely do. I think a lot of it is down to the manager. 18 months ago, Martinelli was probably the best young player at Arsenal, along with Guendouzi. We then had the emergence of Saka. We then had the emergence of Emile Smith-Rowe. Now, why has Martinelli gone down the pecking order so much? Why has he gone down? Why can't he get in this team? Why is the manager not playing him more? What's the problem? This is what I want to know. Because Martinelli's agent said in the last international break that he's not happy because he's been fit since January. We're now in October. So why is he not getting game time? Why is Smith-Rowe playing on the left? Why is Aubameyang played on the left? Why is everybody played on the left apart from Martinelli? Is he a winger? Is he a striker? Let me know in the comments, people. Where would you play him? Fran said, I'm not watching when we get to Pepe. Fran, I'm pretty sure mine will be a little bit easier than the way you went in on him. But listen, it ain't going to be pretty. I'm not going to lie. O'Malley, big up with the super chat, said Martinelli was going against a youth team right back. Very ineffective. Should have took that kid to school. And this is it. Shahira, big up to you. Thank you very much for becoming a member. Always appreciate your support on the channel and appreciate becoming a member. Like I always say, keep an eye on the community page. Listen, sometimes, and I said this on the stream yesterday, I've been in situations where the manager, for whatever reason, is not feeling you. He doesn't think you're the answer. You will not get as many opportunities as a player that he likes. And that's just the reality of football. That happens in everyday work, people. We've all experienced it in some shape or form. Martinelli's under pressure from this manager. When he comes in, he needs to perform. People saying that right back yesterday was a young player at Leeds. He needed to come in and rip him up, go past him 3-4 times, get shots off. He looked like he tried hard. The end product wasn't there. And I feel sorry for him because I think The worry for me with Martinelli is this going to be another Serge Gnabry? Is this going to be another Guendouzi that leaves the club, goes on and does bigger and better things elsewhere? And it's a shame. I think he's got huge potential, but didn't play well yesterday. Nico Ross, Clark, Pepe. I'm not even looking forward to having this conversation. Last year, I was calling this guy Pete, which is his nickname. I was putting him on the green screen. I was saying he needs time. It's going to happen. I can see the talent. You see the little bits of magic. There is only so long I can defend him. I don't want to base this performance solely on yesterday. But yesterday bothered me. Yesterday bothered me because, again, I look at it and I'm like Pepe. Some people are going 5 out of 10 for the assist. I mean, I'm not going to clutch to those straws. I'm going to be honest. I'm not going to clutch to those straws. I know he got an assist, but I'm not clutching on those straws. The performance was not good enough. In fact, there are highlight reels on Twitter at the moment showing how many times he lost the ball yesterday. This man has got no aggression in his game. If I put one of you on the right wing for Arsenal yesterday, you'd probably just get the ball and run at that left back. You'd have a go. You'd try and do something. It might not happen. We might not be quick enough. We might not be good enough. But we would try and make something happen. What is the difference between Nicolas Pepe and the best wingers in the Premier League? It is aggression. It is that will to rip the fullback apart. I do not believe at any point, and Fran might have to go on timeout for 5 minutes. Come back when I'm talking about Smith Rowe. At the moment, this is where I'm going to leave it. At this moment, the 27th of October, 2021, at this moment and time, Nicolas Pepe is not the answer to the question. We paid £72 million because we had a deficiency in wide areas. And at this moment in time, Nicolas Pepe is not the answer to that question. That is as kind as I can possibly be with my judgment on this guy. Can he be the answer? Of course he can. Football is a very fickle game, people. You can quickly turn things around. But at the moment and time, Nicolas Pepe is not the answer. Jeremy said, what is the question? Bro, the question was, we needed a winger with aggression, who can carry the ball, who draws players to him, who is a goal threat, who can ease the load on the strike force. Now, yeah, if you look at the stats sometimes, yeah, Pepe gets a few goals. I'm not playing that down. He does get numbers. He gets a few assists. But it's not happening for him. Now, I saw a video in defense of Nicolas Pepe yesterday because there are a lot of people who like Nicolas Pepe. DJ Dre said, hey, if Klopp was his manager, he'd see a different player. Now, this clip yesterday that I saw, he showed 2 clips. I wish I could find it now, actually. He showed 10 goals that Nicolas Pepe scored from particular positions when he was at Lille. And then he showed 10 positions that Pepe got the ball yesterday. Now, Pepe gets the ball for Arsenal, hugging the touchline. He's on the line, right wing for Arsenal. He plays right wing. When he played for Lille, he was a right forward. He was 10 yards away from their central striker, running between their fullback and their central defender. I think Pepe is a runner, not a dribbler. He's a bit clumsy when he dribbles. It'll hit the back of his foot. He'll do a step over. He doesn't move quick enough. I think he's more of a runner than a dribbler. Like David said, and listen, I think we all know this now. Zaha was the player we should have signed. But for whatever reason, finances, they wanted most of it up front, and Arsenal didn't want to pay most of it up front. They got Pepe because it was layaway settings, buy now, pay later, cash generator business. I think you have to play Pepe in a different manner if you were going to use him. Is there a point in playing Nicolas Pepe in this Arsenal team, right wing, hugging the touchline, asking him to run at the left back and dribble when that is not his strength, in my opinion? I think you need to play him higher up the pitch, little through balls, get him running onto it and finishing. Because one thing I will say, one thing I will credit Pepe with, I believe he is a good finisher. When Pepe's in front of goal and it's a clear opportunity, he's a good finisher in my opinion. But how often do we get him in those positions? Not often enough. However, there's only so long you can defend him for. He cost £72 million. He's the highest, most expensive player in the club's history. If we're being honest, at this time, he has been a flop at Arsenal Football Club. Now, that may sound harsh. You may pull up some numbers and go, he got 10 goals in the league this year, this, that, the other. For £72 million, we are not getting value for money, people. It's like going to that Salt Bay restaurant and paying £7 for a steak for the brother to sprinkle salt down his sweaty elbow. You just ain't getting value for money. You know what I mean? It isn't worth it, people. So listen, Pepe yesterday, I'm giving him a 4. And he gets a 4 because he got the assist. That's me being kind, people. You're playing against Leeds' second choice left back. You cost 72 mil. I'm expecting you to put this guy to work, bro. And you didn't ask no questions of him. But hey, it is what it is. John Layat said, big up Curtis, loving the streams. I still think Arteta has favourites because all these youth players like Smith Rowe, Saka, Emery was playing them in the Europa League. Pepe is becoming frustrating and it hurts. People, just quickly before we move on, what would you give Pepe for yesterday? I'm giving him a 4, and I think that's reasonable. RM said, Curtis, the elbow sweat adds extra salt. Listen, people message me this all the time, right? They message me this all the time, and Fran's back. We're just rounding up on Pepe, Fran. People tell me all the time, it's not Pepe's fault he cost 72 million. Don't judge him on 72 million. Unfortunately, people, this is the way it goes. If a man buys his car for 50 grand and it's worth 10 grand, you're going to say, bro, that's a nice car, but you got bumped. Pepe has to deal with that price tag. It's the reality. The fans aren't going to ignore it and go, well, we should have paid 30 for him. He cost 72 million. That's the reality, people. And he's not living up to it. Would you swap him for St. Maximum, who cost 20 million? Yeah, you probably would. Would you swap him for Neto at Wolves, who cost 15 million? Harvey Barnes, who came through the youth system at Leicester. Damari Gray's doing more than Pepe. He cost 1.5 mil to us. The man has to do more, Bredgen. I can only defend him for so long, man. We got bumped. Big time. Big time. He has to step up. If you don't step up, I think they got to move him on in the summer. If Mikel Arteta is still the manager in the summer, you've got to move him on unless there's a dramatic improvement between now and the end of the season. Fran always said this guy's a cage footballer, inner city London settings, man. He'll probably nutmeg you in cage football. But right now, it's not happening. I defended him for a long time. I said, listen, he's good. It's the manager. But as I said yesterday, when you're one-on-one with the fullback, time after time after time, that's got nothing to do with the manager. Run at him, rip him apart, show everyone what he's about. We'll all defend you and call for you to play. They'll put pressure on the manager. That's how football goes, people, when you're playing at this level. You can't hide. If you play well, the manager can't get out of that. You're going to put him under pressure. So, disappointing. 4 out of 10. Not happening for him at the moment. Snake Eye said, big up Curtis. I said it yesterday and I will say it again. Pepe is too predictable. I can handle Pepe. And like people are saying, Rafinha as well. Another player. And the thing is, like I said yesterday, bro, you can be predictable, but still difficult to manage. When you watch Mahrez, you've got a pretty good idea what he wants to do. Mo Salah. He's going to run down the right. He's going to cut back onto the left. He's going to shoot. Predictable. Ian Robben was predictable. But you couldn't handle them because they're so good at moving the ball onto that left foot. Pepe does things at such a slow speed, it's very difficult. Let's move on from Pepe anyway. Let's move on. What do you sell him for? I mean, that's the problem. That's why I'm almost obliged to think that, you've got to still try and get something out of him, because I'm not sure Arsenal even get 50% of what they paid for him. I'm being honest. He's on 130 grand a week. And like people are saying, do we play him left wing? Do we try him on that left-hand side? I don't know. I think Arsenal are still going to have to try and get a tune out of him, because we're going to lose a lot of money. Emile Smith-Rowe, I thought he was quiet yesterday. He shouldn't have played. I don't think he would have played if Odegaard was fit. And Sean, just quickly, Pepe has got 2 years left on his contract this summer. So still got a bit of time on his deal. Smith-Rowe for me was quiet. He was a bit sloppy on the ball yesterday as well. I would give ESR a 5. Put the corner in for the goal. Some of his passing was really sloppy. Maybe tired legs. Like I said, Odegaard would have played. Mukeel saying slander ESR, but the difference with ESR's got 5 goal contributions in his last 6 games. So, you know, he's got credit in the bank. When you got credit in the bank, you get away with the odd bad game here and there. He was poor yesterday. He was poor. He was really poor. So I give him a 5. It was probably almost a 4 performance, but I let him off. I'll give him a 5. Let's go to Eddie Nketiah. He got his goal, and he worked his socks off, to be fair. I'm going to give him credit. You know me, people. I'm not a big fan of Eddie Nketiah. Honestly, not. I'm not going to get carried away by him scoring a goal, but he was industrious. He worked his socks off. He got his goal, tried his best to miss it, but he scored it. He's back in the conversation. The manager has to answer questions about him, and that's what you've got to do as a player. This is what I'm talking about with Nicolas Pepe. This is what I'm talking about with Gabriel Martinelli. In the press conference yesterday, they had to ask questions about Eddie Nketiah. Why? Because he scored a goal. So that forces them to ask a question. That puts him in the manager's thoughts. Pepe needs to come into that game yesterday, rip up that fullback, maybe get a goal. They're going to have to ask questions. Same with Martinelli. Rip up the fullback, get a goal, force him to answer questions. They didn't do that. They're making it easy. Those 2 players, whether they've been treated fairly or not, with that performance yesterday, they made it easy for Mikel Arteta to go, I'm not going to play you for the next 3 games because I gave you 90 minutes yesterday and you did nothing. And that's the reality of football. Football is not a nice game when you're inside it, unless you're in favour of the manager. Eddie Nketiah gets a 7 for me. I think he had 1 minute remaining on that contract, on that pay-as-you-go phone SIM card, but I think he restored it, man. New 3-year deal on EE, iPhone 13 settings. And listen, in the end, he took that goal very well, flicking it over the goalkeeper's head. Great little touch inside. Forget the fact that he kind of, bit of a wild finish, but he got in and he deserves some credit. So I'll give him a 7 out of 10. And Nketiah says, call me. He was enjoying that one. He was enjoying it. Yeah, Broad's trolling the living daylights out of him, giving him a 10 for the finish. But yeah, I give him credit for that. I give him credit. He played well, 7 out of 10. And I think he deserves some credit, and he was in the manager's conversation. Put code settings, unlock that phone. I'm telling you, man. When you get a new phone and you take your number and you need the put code. I think Eddie did that, man. He got the put code. New phone yesterday, gift gaff settings, But yeah, big up to him. Let's quickly move on. I'm conscious of time, people, because I realize the Man City West Ham game is coming up. I'm sure everyone wants to watch that. 1,000 people in the chat. Big up to you for tuning in, everyone. I really appreciate it. I know there's a few other channels. I think AFTV are live at the moment as well, and there's a couple others. So I realize I don't usually stream at this time. I will be back tomorrow at the usual time of about 2 p.m. So make sure you're locked in. We're going to quickly get through the press conference. Mickey Ross settings. I haven't read any of it. I haven't heard too much about what he said. This picture is great, to be fair. I love this because, listen, no matter what you think, to be successful in any football club, you need togetherness. Togetherness is vital in a football team. A bunch of individuals, it's not often you're successful. What I love about this picture more than anything is Lacazette and Ramsdale, because Lacazette, out of contract this summer, his future is a little bit up in the air. You don't really know what's going to happen. Look how happy this brother looks. The man looks over the moon for Callum Chambers. And that's the kind of things that I like. And you know what? I'm going to give Arteta a little bit of credit here, which I don't give him credit that often, but I think I'm fair with him. I think the reason that Mikel Arteta is still the Arsenal manager is because despite the struggle and the failings that this guy has had, I do think the majority of that dressing room are still together. I think the reason Unai Emery lost his job is because people wanted him out within that dressing room. I think a lot of that squad are still, in favor of this manager. They may not love him. They may want a bigger, better manager, but I think they're still, behind him. They're still saying, okay, let's see where this ends up. And, I know it's only a picture. It's no big deal, but I just think, it's a good team spirit. Chambers, Maitland-Niles, Holding, Kolasinac, 4 players that don't often play, all celebrating together. Ramsdale's up, Lacazette's up. We need togetherness, people. So, yeah, listen. But I would have liked to have seen maybe, Saliba and a few other players in that picture as well. But that's a whole other show and conversation. Mikel Arteta was delighted to see Callum Chambers and Eddie Nketiah settle our tie with Leeds on Tuesday. We're going to skip through this. I'm not going to make it. I'm not going to read all of it, people. It wasn't the biggest of games, to be honest. Hey, Craig, relax. Ain't no trust in the process. I'm still a long way from being convinced. But when things are going well, there's no reason for me to, kick up a fuss. Let's see where it takes us. And as I've said, if Arteta gets it right, then so be it, If I just want success for the club. But we're not quite Arteta in. On whether he's ever made a sub with such an instant impact. Here we go. I knew this was going to happen, I knew this was going to happen. Let's forget the fact that he made this substitution because Ben White came off injured. He's going to take all the credit for it. But I'll give it you. We're shameless over it. I'll give it you. Yeah, man saying we're blinded by the light, the weekend settings. He's going to take all the credit for it. Not the fact that he brought a man on because the other guy was injured. He's just going to act like it was a tactical masterclass. I knew this was coming. I knew it. But I'll give it him. On whether he's ever made a sub with such an impact. He said, I don't think so. I'm so happy in particular for Callum. He totally deserves it. It was a great moment as it helped us win the game. And it's someone who deserves the best for who he as a person and how he behaves as a professional. So Mikel Arteta has taken the credit for that. But listen, I don't mind. Take it by all means. I give it you. On Ben White's fitness, he said, no, there is a bug going on. We lost Pablo today as he wasn't feeling great. And Ben had it as well. In the last day or two, he wasn't feeling great. So we decided to take him off. I mean, the first question I would ask is if Ben White has had a bug, as you're saying it, Ben had it as well in the last day or two. Why play Ben White? Why play Ben White if he had it as well? Pablo Mari has not recovered since Romelu Lukaku bodied him, to be honest. Apology. Yeah, Mikel. It is Benjamin, as Broads is pointing out. Do not address him as Ben. The guy does not watch football. He does what he wants, and his name is Benjamin. He does not want to be addressed as Ben. Now, why play him if the man's had the bug the last few days? Pablo Mari, I'm starting to worry about this guy. I haven't seen this guy in an Arsenal shirt since Lukaku, assaulted him on the pitch pretty much. Pablo Mari, mate, he has not been seen since. But yeah, why play Ben White if he's had the bug? I don't get it. And whether it was a gamble to make so many changes, he said it was a decision. I can't keep demanding players to do what they do every day. I mean, do what they do every day. I mean, we're mid-table. I think he needs to relax with that. You're acting as if this team have taken us to an unbelievable height and the demand is so high. There's no possible way that I can ask this team to continue to give me what they're giving me. Mid-table, no, they need a rest. They need a day off. You're taking us to such great heights. I can't possibly ask you to take us to them heights. Oh, dear, he needs to relax. Man said Lukaku finished his career. Man are calling him Ben 10. Pablo Mari still got PTSD. Post-traumatic stress disorder. That guy's a mess right now. Call him Mike till he gets it right. Big up SB with a super chat. Bruv, man said I can't possibly ask them to do what they do every day. Like, what are they doing every day, bro? I still don't forget them first 3 games of the season. They have to train every day. That is the demand. That's the least you expect. But we'll carry on. We'll carry on. It's late. I don't want to feed you too much waffle, people. And to keep believing that they can get in the team and ask them to raise the level without giving them a chance to play. And I trust them. I was calm as I know that they can do it. Obviously, it was against a tough opponent. I mean, oh, man. What a guy. Can you imagine if we'd lost this game and he was answering that question? How would he get out of that? But listen, it worked. I let him off. I'm not going to hammer him too much. I just find it funny that he's saying, I can't keep demanding players to do what they do every day. What? Turn up for training, give 100%, play on a Saturday, give 100%, get us as high as possible in the table. We're not in Europe, so most weeks we don't play midweek. That's too much to ask. I mean, most people in the world would call that a privilege. I don't think that's too much to ask, to be honest. I can tell you now, that is not too much to ask. Mario started to cross the road when he sees Lukaku lookalikes. I'm telling you, Pablo Mari can't play. He needs an extended break, mate. I'm telling you, Lukaku has seriously damaged that guy. He has seriously damaged him. Pablo Mari reporting every IC. Oh, no. Oh, dear. Any Chelsea fan in the street, he's running, man. He's absolutely running. But yeah, apparently the demand is too much. These players can't be expected to train every day. It's way too much. Way too much. You know, can't expect that. We move on, people. On Eddie Nketiah's performance and his future, he said, I have no doubts about what he can offer. Yeah, Samsung S21 and an iPhone 13. 24-month contract with unlimited text, unlimited minutes, 12 gigabyte of internet, and also 5G connection, but we'll carry on. Whatever you throw at him, he wants more. He wants more of it, people. Just give me more. I said Pablo Mari can't watch Stormzy's. You play Stormzy, man. The man just runs out of London Colney real quick, you know. Man said, nah, I can't hear it. Starts having nightmares. Man just waking up in the middle of the night hearing Too Big for Your Boots. Yo, man said, whatever I throw at Eddie, he just wants more of it. Why is he firing shots? This is why I call him Mick Ross. Every press conference, there is a diss track. He's like, you know, like old school 50 Cent. Every time 50 had an album coming out, there was a diss track. He had to diss someone. Mikel Arteta finds a way to diss somebody, I'm telling you. And he's throwing shade at him. Whatever you throw at him, he wants more and demands more of himself. He's another one that I am delighted to see the performance and for him to score the goal and help the team. He totally deserves it. But there's a lot of players who play in that position and with a personal situation, with his contract running down. But I tried to leave that aside and tried to reward him because he deserves it. There you go. The more you throw at him, the more he gives you. You know? The more you throw at him, the more he gives you, people. I mean, I don't know what to say. What are you throwing at him, actually? You know, whatever you throw at him, he wants more. I mean, I don't know. SIM cards, phone chargers, laptops, iPads. I mean, I swear this guy... Remember Phone Shop back in the day? I used to watch Phone Shop, man. I swear, Eddie, was he in that? I don't know. This guy... Get Eddie in a phone shop. That's all I want. Whatever you throw at him, he wants more, people. I think that's a beautiful statement. This guy, honestly, the one thing I am going to miss when this guy leaves is the absolute waffle that he talks in press conferences, people. What type of training are they doing with Eddie Nketiah? The more they throw at him, the more he gives you. And he just wants more of it, people. What a guy. Like they said, are they taking him out to play fetch? They just throw the ball. I said, come here, boy. Come on, Eddie. Fetch it, fella. Go on. Go on. Man's training session, they're just throwing tennis balls. Go and get it, Eddie, mate. Man just running around like a Staffordshire Bull Terrier, fetching the ball. Yo, Eddie, you know. Eddie, the Staffordshire Bull Terrier. Him and Nuno Tavares brings the dogs in. Just start throwing the tennis balls out. Go and get it, boy. Go on, Eddie. Eddie, Eddie, Eddie. Man's at Walthamstow tonight, people. 7:30, 6-1. 6-1 favourite to win. Man's fetching tennis balls at London Colney. What a guy. Oh, dear. On whether there is an update on Nketiah's contract, he said no. Simple as that. No. All right. Anything you want to add to that? No? All right. Forget it. Next question. Kieran Tierney on Martin Odegaard's fitness. They were both out with two different injuries. They tried yesterday, but they didn't feel great. They wanted to be involved, but they didn't feel good enough to be selected. Hopefully, in the next few days, they could feel better and be available for Leicester. They should both be available. I mean, let's be honest, man. Odegaard's probably not going to start anyway. It'll be interesting if he plays Tierney at left back over Tavares, who was excellent at the weekend. Late stream, yeah, man. They had to do the late one today. I was out and about. Big up to everyone. 1,000 of you in here, man. Really appreciate it. I will be wrapping up soon because I realise West Ham, Man City is about to kick off in about 15, 20 minutes. Phone Shop was underrated. Yo, Phone Shop, what's his name? Jar Wayne? Yo, anyone who ever watched Phone Shop, you know what I'm talking about, man. Eddie fetch Nketiah. I'm telling you, they got Eddie like a Staffordshire Bull Terrier on the training ground, just dashing tennis balls. It's madness. But it sounds like Tierney and Odegaard will be back for the weekend. On Ainsley Maitland-Niles' performance, he said, well, we have used him a lot and in different moments. He has played minutes. He can cover different positions. That's the bonus that Ainsley has. And again, he kept trying to improve every single day. Today, I felt he had a really good performance. Yeah, I thought he was good. Here we go. We're back to Eddie, mate. E-Man said, this is the best video so far. Bro, this is regular settings, people. You know we've always got this, people. Youssef said, Curtis, is it difficult to dink the keeper? Do you know what, mate? Depends on the person. I got to be honest. It's a difficult one to answer, really. I suppose it's each individual player. I was always quite good at chipping the keepers, to be fair. Ask Broads. He's seen me chip a few keepers, but it's different for everyone, man. Why is Fran saying answer Youssef? Fran's in here trolling now as well. It's a random question. How can I answer that, man? It depends who you are, innit, Youssef, you know? Oh, dear. It's crazy. It's absolute. Can we hit 1,000 likes, people? There's 1,000 people in here. Lick down that like button, people. Krav said, hey, everyone, click upon the like button. Come on, don't mess about, people. Let's finish off the press conference anyway. He said, on Nketiah's future, yes, but we had a situation in the summer that we tried to resolve and we couldn't either way. That's interesting, people. So he's saying either way. So to me, that would say that they was either trying to sell him or they was trying to extend the contract, and neither one of them situations happened, which is interesting. He then says the contract situation is more and more common in football from where we are coming from with COVID and a lot of issues we have to resolve. I have full belief he's going to be a top player and hopefully at Arsenal. He wants him there, people. He don't want Eddie to go nowhere, you know. But it's interesting that we said we tried to resolve and we couldn't either way. So that gives me the impression that Eddie is the one rejecting the contract from Arsenal rather than Arsenal giving him that. Man said, I can confirm we call Curtis Ketchup because he loves a chip. This guy, you know. Yo, a few people have been chipped. You see it in the intro, people, that little dink. That's happened a few times, people, let me tell you. Yeah, Broads and Fran, them two are on flames today. I might have to ask them for the bank details. Just drop a little 10% in there for them. They're carrying the chat tonight. Big up both of them. Make sure you subscribe to both of them, by the way. Broads is on 900 and something subscribers, right? He doesn't put out content too often. You know, that's an understatement. But can we get Broads to 1,000 subscribers? Even with no content. It might urge him to start putting out content. And Fran's hunting down 3K. So make sure you go and subscribe to Broads TV and subscribe to FFTV as well. Two of my good friends. And you'll see them both on this channel a lot in the future as well. The man's on 900 subscribers. I don't think he's put a video out for about 3 years. So can we get him to 1,000? Davor Suke, I remember him chipping Schmeichel in the, was it Euro 96, I think? Just dinking the living daylights out of him. Right, let's move on. Let's get through this waffle. on whether Mikel would let him go. Again, can somebody explain this to me? They're asking Mikel the question and saying his name to him. Like, why are they not just saying, will you let him go? Mikel, will Mikel let him go? Like, I don't get it. I don't get it. Man saying, then man, I am king. Listen, I am king. You know I read your comments, bro. You know I read your comments. So you relax. You know what I mean? You relax, people. But he said, I'm happy to have him in the team. He is our player, and I consider him and regard him really highly. And from my side, I want him to stay. He wants him there, mate. You know, are you going to get them new phone contracts if Eddie goes, mate? You know, you need him in there for them upgrades. It always helps when you know somebody inside Carphone Warehouse. You know, you get that upgrade, you get the friends and family discount. It makes life so much easier, you know. On keeping Ben White and ESR in the team, he said, the thinking was that it was more a reactive situation. Martin was going to start the game and he was injured, so we had to pick someone to play in midfield. The other one was Pablo. He was going to start as well, but he couldn't because he had a bug this morning and he wasn't feeling so good, so we had to play Ben. Man said, right, Pablo, you ready, lad? Man said, boy, you know, and then man just starts having flashbacks of Lukaku. Man said, no, that's it. Gaffer, I feel sick, you know, my belly's hurting a little bit. You know, I think I better leave it. Let's wait till Leicester. Man said, well, you're not going to play against Leicester anyway. So, no, I can't play. He's having nightmares about Lukaku. Halloween's coming up. You know, Lukaku's mentally scarred Pablo Mari. Man just pretending he's got stomachache at that. So, yeah, no Pablo Mari. He said on Balogun and his future in the team. I mean, new 4-year contract in the summer. Carabao Cup, doesn't get 1 minute. We only made 4 substitutions when you can make 5 in the Carabao Cup. I mean, somebody needs to explain that to me. But what does he say on Balogun? He said, we will see what happens. Again, with Flo, we have a really clear project. I mean, it don't seem that clear from Balogun's point of view. The steps that he's making, they are the right steps. Not playing for the first team? I don't know. Don't forget, he is really young. He hasn't played almost any professional football. Yeah, that's down to you. And you need to go through every phase and don't try to jump phases when you are not ready to do so. I mean, I'm having thoughts in my mind right now, right? Man said nightmare on Coney Street. I'm telling you, Lukaku just turning up at the training ground will scare this guy. I find this funny because it almost feels like Arteta is describing his own situation. He's saying, you need to go through every phase. Don't try to jump phases when you are not ready to do so. Is anybody else getting thoughts of Mikel Arteta here? You know, you went from being the assistant manager of Manchester City and, you know, I won't mention the cones because some people get offended when you mention the cones, but putting cones out for Pep. And then you're the Arsenal manager. Now that to me says you jumped a hell of a lot of phases. He's gone from transmitting to now with jumping phases, you know, skipping levels, you know, and see, look, I am King's fighting back. Here he goes. He said, nah, bro, stop hyping broads. We've been waiting for months. No video. Man's channel is drier than Eddie's phone. Nah. We're not having that. Listen, he's like Santa Claus. Turns up once a year. I think he's doing a Christmas special. And that's it. You know, we might get one video out of broads at Christmas. That's the only one. But yeah, you shouldn't jump phases. Well, that's funny. You jumped a lot of phases, bro. You jumped a heck of a lot of phases. So, I don't know. But hey, we carry on. Again, I'm really happy with him. He's making the right progress. And in December, we will see where we are and what's the best for him as well. Okay, in December. That's it then, Flo. You ain't going to play until December. And in December, they'll probably throw you out on loan somewhere. John, big up with the super chat, bro. He said, Mikel, do you like your waffles toasted or left alone? He said, Mikel said, yes. Also, I prefer to eat Asda waffles than Tesco because Tesco waffles don't excite me. I'm telling you, this guy, he just doesn't answer questions clearly, does he, man? He's straight politician settings with this guy. Big up to Mr. Danielson himself, John Layout in the chat. Sean said that first video will bang, though. I'm telling you, it will. it will do well. It will do well. Look, we got all sorts going off here. Broad saying, I'm king. I'm going to do a stream for you. Send me your socials. I'm going to grill you, lad. He's going to be in the comments supporting you, Broads. Don't worry, Broads, man. He's there for you. But yeah, Balogun, they're going to see what's happening in December, mate. So around Christmas, they'll tell you what's happening. On Salah Adine being on the bench tonight and the thinking behind that, he said, rewarding him for what he does every day in training and the games that he's playing, for his attitude and the quality he has, he totally deserves to be with us. I mean, I haven't really seen this guy. I've heard a lot of hype about him. Daniel, apologies, bro. Sorry, I will get back to you tonight, 100%. He said, great stream, Curtis. Did you have a look at my DM? I will get back to you tonight, bro. So apologies for that. Liam O'Donnell, competition winner, said, just subscribe to Broads. There you go, man. See, I'm trying to get some. Let's get Broads to 1K. See, we got some hype, some momentum for him going here, people. But yeah, Balogun, man, being treated quite bad here. Yeah, I see the Sunderland manager firing shots at Arsenal and Spurs one. He's saying we'll play Arsenal or Spurs, and then something about we want the big boys in the next round or something like that. I think he was trying to troll, but forget it. They're getting knocked out next round anyway. On getting to the quarterfinal and whether it opens up opportunities for minutes, he said, yeah, well, it obviously opens up more space for opportunity. Winning this trophy is something we want to accomplish. It's great to see the players that didn't have a lot of opportunities, the way they played, the way they competed, and the way they won the game against a really good side. Let's go. On the celebrations for Chambers, he said, I think there is something else there. You see the reaction of his teammates. They spend time with him every day. I think it was genuine emotion for him because it's been tough for him and they like him as a person. They know it was an important moment for him. Yeah, he seemed really like, he was a bit overwhelmed. Just come on the pitch and scored straight away. But, he decides not to play these guys all the time. So it's his decision not to play him. So I don't know. Andre said Hecky B is on the bench for Betis. Oh no, he is coming back. We knew this was going to happen. He'll go over there and eventually they'll see actually what he is and then send him back. Now, no watch along tonight, Sean. I think West Ham Man City, the game kicks off in about 10 minutes. So yeah, let's get through this. And the last one, on Callum running to celebrate with the set piece coach. I mean, I don't get that question. Oh, Callum Chambers, I noticed he ran over and celebrated with the set piece coach. He said there were, I think, 3 different coaches and a player that told him he was going to score, and probably it was in his ear, so it was a way to say thank you. I have to literally just have a moment there. Is that the most pointless question, like in the history of a press conference? I'm struggling to I'm struggling to comprehend what is being said here. Like, oh, he scored and ran over to the set piece coach. Yeah, so what? If I was him, I'd have gone, yeah, and next question. What's the point? I just don't get it, people. They wait all week to ask that question. Like, is that it? Yeah, I'm going to take a sip. People. Who asked that question? I want to know who asked that question. I think Mikel writes these questions down himself. It makes no sense. Oh, I noticed he celebrated with a set piece coach. Oh, my days. Oh, no. It's wild. How dare he celebrate with a coach? Oh, dear. Let's end it there. I think I better end it there, actually, before I am King and Broads get into a, charity boxing match, you know what I mean? They're asking Broads for a PS5 giveaway, 1,000 subscribers. Thank you very much to FFTV for that. He's put all kinds of pressure on everybody in the YouTube community. I was happy giving away a football shirt of your choice. I thought that was sufficient. I was more than happy with that. Fran comes out the blocks. Oh, everyone, look at me. I'm giving away a PS5. Cheers, Fran, mate. Cheers. You've made us all look silly now giving away football shirts. They're asking me for crypto. They're asking me for PS5s. They want Xbox Series X. I've seen man asking for cars. I don't know what Fran's going to give away at 10K. I don't dare to think. He'll probably get you a mortgage. But yeah, Broad said, for I Am King, He's going to get a PlayStation 1. Hey, listen, PS1's probably worth quite a bit of money now, to be honest. You get a working PS1, you'll probably do decent. You get a little bit of money for that. So, yeah, thanks a lot to Fran. Yeah, you've ruined the community. Yeah, happy giving away a football shirt. Now I'm having to save up money for giveaways now. So cheers, Fran. But yeah, we move on. But listen, big up to Liam. Liam won the shirt as well, first on the buzzers. And now we all family. Listen, great community. This is the thing that we want. People like Fran, Broads, everyone. We're all within the same community. Keep it positive. Keep it fun. Waffle settings was in full effect today, people. And I read today that that the press conference could be tomorrow because it says that Arsenal are travelling to Leicester on Friday because the game is a 12:30 kickoff on Saturday. They're travelling to Leicester on Friday. Usually they do the press conference the day before they travel. So I'm pretty sure the press conference will be tomorrow in the daytime. So tomorrow's stream will probably be more waffle. As he talks about the Leicester performance. But these questions are embarrassing, you know. Big up to Ella as well. Defo not. I'm collecting those fees. I'm telling you, man. Fran's in the bad books now. He needs to calm down. But listen, big up to everyone for tuning in. We're, 9 minutes away from Man City against West Ham. So we'll get out of here, let you watch that. Big up to everyone. Smash the like on the video. Subscribe. I'll be back tomorrow around 2 p.m. with more Mikel Arteta waffle. Enjoy the rest of your evening, people. I'm out. Bless.